Women's golf has come a long way since the 60s. The players have changed, the fashions have changed, the equipment has changed, and the numbers have changed. To put it simply, women's golf is on a roll. Since 1998, the number of women playing golf in the U.S. has jumped 52%. The amount they spend on the sport tops $4 billion a year. And some of the best players are too young to vote. Players like 16-year-old Michelle Wie, 17-year-old Morgan Pressel, and 19-year-old Paula Kramer are burning up the LPGA Tour and inspiring legions of young fans. 23-year-old Natalie Gulbis is attracting fans of both sexes. And then there's the unflappable Swedish superstar Annika Sorenstam, the first woman to crash the PGA Tour in 58 years. And next month's Golf for Women cover girl.
What we're trying to do is to make her look like this fantastic icon, beautiful and strong and inspirational.
50% of our camps are girls, and I think that they see these role models. They see these young women who are really successful.
But it's golf equipment makers and sellers who are suddenly in awe of the growing female golf market. Whoever or whatever the inspiration, American women now account for 20% of that market.
As we see young people coming along, we expect that to come much closer to 50-50.
Women are more than just an economic force on the fairway. They're a powerhouse in the pro shop as well, spending hundreds if not thousands of dollars on these weapons of grass destruction. Expensive irons, oversized drivers, golf shoes, golf balls, and of course, golf fashions.
Do you think women like to shop? Women love to shop, and I think that what we're seeing at Golf for Women is that the more women learn about equipment and clothes and shoes and stuff that's made for them, that they're going to go out and buy.
Case in point, 31-year-old Anne-Marie Lafredo.
The clubs, the shoes, the apparel, I'd say probably about $3,000 to $4,000.
An investment that big, and she's yet to play a single round.
I haven't been to an actual course. I've been restricted here at the golf club. I'm still trying to get the confidence level up before I try to do 9 or 18 holes on a course.
But she will. In fact, for Anne-Marie and others, it's business that's driving the women's golf business.
Networking is a great way to do business, and a terrific way to network is on the golf course. Men have been doing it forever. So I'm getting more and more women coming to me and saying, look, I need to learn how to play golf for my business. And so I'm getting a lot more women coming in.
Women are expected to spend more as equipment becomes better suited to their needs. It's only in recent years that manufacturers have begun designing clubs that adjust to a woman's slower swing speed and their less power, more finesse style of play.
It's a great business tool, it's a great social tool, it's a great thing to bring families together, it's a great thing to go out and do with your friends.
They haven't found out the part where you break the club over your leg yet.
Actually, I think they have found that part out.
For Market Watch, I'm Ed Crane in New York. The technology is a half-century old and constantly evolving, helping motorists speed through toll booths, allowing retailers to track inventory, even providing a quick means of finding lost pets. The radio frequency identification system consists of nearly invisible tags activated by radio signals that are then electronically read. It's a bit more expensive than typical barcode technology, but proponents say it's also more effective.
RFID is a technology that doesn't require line of sight. A barcode needs to be scanned with usually a laser scanner, and RFID technology uses a radio link to accomplish the same thing.
And it can save giant retailers now employing it like Walmart, Best Buy, and Target plenty.
Yeah, if you can just imagine the simple process of a pallet coming into a dock door with 200 cases on it and they need to be individually scanned. That's a lot of manual labor. If you have RFID, you can just push the entire pallet through a gate and instantly all 200 boxes have been declared in.
And someday this technology may prevent your luggage from going to Omaha while you're flying to Orlando. Tests of RFID bag tags are underway at airports in Las Vegas and Hong Kong, and so far incidents of lost baggage are down by about 20%. The industry also hopes that in cases of close connections, these bag tags can make sure that both you and your luggage make the flight. Companies like Pfizer are using RFID to curb counterfeiting of popular prescription drugs like Viagra. All well and good, say privacy advocates like Catherine Albrecht, to a point. She says those tiny RFID tags can be as much a spy tool as a supply tool.
the way that it can be invisible and you don't even necessarily know that you're carrying it. If you're carrying a cell phone, first of all, the only entity that can really track you is your cell phone provider. But if you've got an RFID tag on something, say embedded in your shoe or tucked into a card in your wallet, then it really lays you open to having that information skimmed by anybody.
So is compromised privacy the price of progress?
The camera in the street that surveils whether it's safe to go. You could argue I'm being filmed, I'm being monitored. On the other hand, it provides you with safety. Your cell phone can track your location, but you can't do without your cell phone, so the benefit's bigger. We're not at the point yet where consumers in general see the large benefit of RFID, and therefore they see more the threat of the technology rather than the benefit.
Privacy advocates now hope RFID makers and users will police themselves, and they say proper labeling might boost consumer trust.
So we're really looking to the industry, and if the industry won't do it, then to lawmakers to really mandate the use of labels so that you don't accidentally buy something you think is a pair of running shoes and the person selling it to you thinks that is a pair of tracking shoes that they can use to monitor your whereabouts.
But with the cost of radio frequency ID tags dropping to just pennies per item and uses expanding year after year, this technology is here to stay. I'm Ed Crane for Dow Jones Online. For decades, Gallo has been the 800-pound gorilla of the wine business, growing more grapes and producing more wines than anyone else in the world. 1 of every 3 California wines sold is a Gallo product. And despite that stranglehold on the market, the 3-generation-strong Gallo family is hardly resting on its laurels.
It's really projecting what the market's going to want, what are going to be the trends, and what new can you bring to consumers. So a lot of foresight, a lot of vision.
When winemakers from Italy and Australia began flooding the market with good, cheap varietals, Gallo found a way to profit from the competition. It now distributes a host of familiar names like Black Swan, McWilliams, Ecco Domani, Da Vinci, and Red Bicyclette, all while turning out a staggering array of its own brands. Everything from fortified wines like Thunderbird to cheap boxed wines such as Peter Vella, jug wines like Carlo Rossi, and inexpensive table wines like Turning Leaf. But now, many of Gallo's wines will have a new name and a common label, Gallo Family Vineyards.
It's really just bringing the family of wines together under one umbrella. So it'll be Gallo Family Vineyards, from $5 all the way to $75. And really, it's a great avenue. So if someone enters into the $5, they can move their way up the scale depending how sophisticated or complicated they want it to be, or just have a wine on a daily basis to enjoy.
Gina Gallo, who specializes in turning out high-quality varietals from the family's Sonoma County vineyard, says the company's long-held reputation as a bulk winemaker makes marketing her wines a challenge.
It's absolutely out there. But the thing that brings joy to, I think, our family, myself, is when the person that is shocked, pleasantly surprised, has one of our Gallo Family Vineyard wines, and is like, wow, what's happening there? What are they doing? And it intrigues them and puts a smile on their face.
While Gina Gallo's Sonoma vintages account for just 5% of Gallo's wine sales, it's the company's fastest growing segment and among its most profitable. The Gallo family's evolution from bulk to fine wine producer began about 30 years ago when Gina Gallo's grandfather, Giulio Gallo, commissioned the building of this sprawling 2-acre cellar in Modesto, California. He filled it with more than 600 of these huge oak storage tanks imported from Yugoslavia and France. Each holds about 4,000 gallons of wine, which means that at any given time, more than 2 million gallons of fine wine is being aged in this building, wine that will be consumed in the U.S. and in 90 countries around the world. New technologies are helping the company to not only improve winemaking, but wine marketing.
What technology has really allowed us to do is track it differently. Because we have so many brands, it goes to so many places, we're trying to meet a consumer around the world. The technology really allows us to do that.
Including a proprietary software program called Gallo Edge.
Gallo Edge is a system that allows a buyer, a customer buyer, to really look at wine on their shelves in by bottle, by brand, by profitability, by shelf space.
Investment and intuition are also factoring into Gallo's slow transition to the varietal segment of the wine business.
We were lucky 10 years ago that we were thinking Pinot Noir might be the next kind of red varietal. So we planted Pinot, we did a lot of research on Pinot. Today, we have the grapes, we have the wine, so we can bring it to consumers. We, for a while there, thought maybe we had too much Pinot. Looking at it now, we need more.
And while other pioneers in the California wine industry have sold out to big corporations, Gallo has no such plans.
Never. A lot of our energy is how, because you think about wine and it's long-term investing, and there's no better business to be a family-owned business than the wine business, because it is that long-term thinking. You're really thinking generations, and you have to be thinking generations if you really want to survive and keep things alive and strong.
For MarketWatch, I'm Ed Crane in Modesto, California.